This show was made possible with the continued support of the Revenue Lab Affiliate Network. Hello, my friends. Yes, it's that time of the week again, and as usual, there is no shortage of things for us to talk about. And as usual, we begin in the United Kingdom, where the Gambling Commission seems pretty damn proud of the mess they have created, particularly their financial risk checks. They pushed forward with these frictionless violations of personal and financial privacy, and now, wouldn't you just know it, not even 6 months in, the Commission is touting what they call a 95% success rate. Of course, these are their numbers based on what they define to be a success. And as we have discussed on this show many times before, other gambling operators tend to follow the UKGC's lead, yes, like lemmings off a cliff. Now, the government of Sweden is considering their own Gambling Act review over concerns of money laundering, match fixing, unlicensed operators, player protection. You know the drill. Does it sound familiar? Even a little bit? And then there's the Dutch government, who are now working to roll out an updated, stricter version of their gambling laws by the end of this year that will also give the government more access to operator data for research purposes. And if you don't see the slippery slope just yet, the government of Australia is considering tracking all of every player's gambling losses across the entire country on their betting apps. Well, there's certainly no room for abuse there. One justification given for this proposed legislation is that gambling companies take people's money because they are predatory, while the government simply takes people's money because they can. Eventually, every bet, every win, every loss, every game you play, how long you play it, all of that will be tracked, and a big open book for Big Brother and some algorithm in a computer somewhere, or an underpaid civil servant with a psychology degree will be deciding if you're allowed to play or not. There you go. All right. So, it's time to roll on into the second half of our program. And you all know what my favorite part of the show is. Yeah. But instead of welcoming another new APCW member, this week we're welcoming back the Royal Partners with 12 brands, expanding geos, and custom campaigns. They offer rev share, CPA deals, and hybrid models with up to 60% commissions and no admin fees. Check out their review page on the APCW website or visit them directly at royal.partners. Lastly, you may have noticed over the years that I am not exactly tolerant of bullies or thieves or unfair treatment of any kind. For years, I've railed against the biases toward online gambling, while land-based casinos seemingly went on unscathed, not held to the same standards when it comes to identifying problem gamblers. And while I truly believe that affordability checks are a gross overreach of the UK government, I will at least admit that they were evenly applied to both online and land-based casinos for the most part. And now this. Mercur's land-based betting shops were fined nearly $120,000 by the UKGC for failing to check on a 64-year-old woman who played a slot machine in their establishment for over 16 hours with multiple trips to the ATM, resulting in her losing close to $2,500. That, my friends, is just sick. And here you thought I didn't care about problem gamblers, huh? That is just sick. And it's the sort of player that needs to be identified and needs to be helped. And the problem here was they simply didn't care. They didn't look, they didn't watch. She could have been identified simply by observing her, by paying attention, without any need to go digging into her bank account or personal finances or doing some kind of background check. And that's my point. Those are the kind of people that need to be identified and helped. Not the guy putting 10 quid on a football match on Sunday. All right, before I get myself wound up, I'm gonna go because I have fulfilled my contractual obligation to the show. Yeah, and I did it with a smile. All right, we're gonna come back next week and do this again, God willing. Ah. What they call a 95% success rate. Yeah, of course, these are the commission's figures, and how can I lose my place on that? Wow, that's what happens when you look off script. Damn it. At least it was at the beginning.